morning and welcome to the Insight. Remember, the Insight is that program where we x-ray the habit of issues, topics, newspaper headlines, or political issues that shape our nation. And today, we'll be discussing about citizen awareness and voter education in Enugu. Joining us to give voice and throw light on this topic is Sir Achume Chuka Res, HOD, Voter Education and Publicity in Enugu State, Aneke. Sir, you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Without wasting much time, let's just do justice to this issue. Speaking to voter awareness and education, can you tell our audience what this entails?
Voter awareness and education is a process through which we educate the populace on the ongoing voters registration that is going out through the Federation today. It involves a lot of things. That can be done through the news media, as I'm here today. It's part of the awareness. We equally carry out road shows. We go to markets, go to churches. We equally use civil society organizations and other stakeholders. Like you are aware today, various local governments, you see the political parties, they're organizing a stakeholders meeting in various local governments now. All these things are done to attract people's interest so that they will come and register. So these are various ways we can enhance people's awareness in getting involved in registration.
All right, let's talk to the specific programs that you've designed currently to create this awareness. You talk about going to the market and other. Also, what are the current programs that you have running on ground?
We have adverts running in most of the TV houses here in Enugu. Like we have one in NTA, both the radio aspect of it and television, the aspect of it. We equally printed flyers and billboards located in some strategic areas here in Enugu. These are part of the awareness we created for people to know that the continuous voter registration is ongoing for today.
Okay. All right. Talking about adverts and jingles and all that, are there ones designed? Being that we're in Enugu State, we are dealing with a whole mass of people, both educated, semi-educated, and non-educated people. Are there specific programs that will suit those barely or uneducated citizens in Enugu?
Yeah, we have many of it. Like say, for instance, in preparing our jingle, we prepare it in different languages.
Okay.
Like here in Igbo land, our dialect is Igbo.
Okay.
We have a jingle that translates Aneke message of registration in Igbo language. We have the pidgin aspect of it, and we have the English aspect of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Ongoing now.
But are there ones designed? For example, I know you've said yes, the popular language here is Igbo. But when you come to Enugu State, they are still, though the language is Igbo, but they are still dialects. Have you gotten to that level?
Actually, we have not gotten to that level because we believe that Igbo is a general language for Igbo speaking area.
Okay.
So we mainly concentrated in that of using the Igbo aspect.
The general language.
Yes, the general one.
But do you agree that making this specific to suit dialects would create more and effective awareness for the people?
Yes, I believe you do. But as I earlier said,
yes,
in organizing stakeholders at the local government level, which trickles down to the ward level and the unit level. In those areas, we're trying to engage the services of the town criers of the people
Okay.
engage the local, the local people of that area to now help us in speaking that particular dialect
Okay.
that we now sing down to the people, within that locality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, while you were talking, you mentioned about stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders as far as Aneke are concerned?
The stakeholders are, if you look at it from the layman language, people see it as politicians alone.
Okay, yes.
But no,
Okay.
to us, stakeholders are everybody that has a stake in electioneering process is a stakeholder.
Okay.
Once you are up to the 18 years and above, we believe you are a stakeholder.
Okay.
Because whatever that happens within the electoral circle, you are consigned, and that automatically makes you and qualifies you a stakeholder.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, okay, every citizen, once you are up to 18 years
Yes.
and above, you're a stakeholder as far as Aneke is concerned.
Yes.
But let's talk about catching them young. Are there programs designed to bring the younger ones, make them aware, knowing that, yes, they are not yet stakeholders, they are ones that as of today, they are 17. Perhaps before the next election cycle, they will have gotten to be stakeholders. Do you have any specific design program to suit, let's say, the secondary school, the teens that will be getting to be stakeholders? Are there specific programs?
Yeah, for now, because we are mainly concerned with the registration, we haven't gone to that level. But previously, there are programs of such.
Okay.
Say, for instance, you see a situation where even primary school people visit INEC
Okay.
for us to explain to them and educate them on the process and procedures on what we actually do on daily basis.
Okay.
Now, we have school social clubs.
School social clubs. Okay.
That has to do with INEC programs in some schools.
Some schools.
Yeah, some schools. Not it's not basically all the schools in Enugu State, but there are some schools that are involved.
Let me cut you short.
Yes.
Why do you choose specific schools?
It's not because we choose. This has to do with interest. Are you getting me? It has to do with interest. We don't just go to any of these schools and say we want to do this with them. There are schools that really wants to partner with INEC.
Okay.
They write us, they come to us. INEC is a kind of a legal organization. So most of the things we do, we don't just do it like that. You apply through a headquarter. Are you getting me? To say that we want to partner with INEC, just like the ongoing registration now is going on. It's not everybody that comes to INEC that say he wants to partner with us to be involved in registration, and we say, I guess, go ahead. No, to avoid being politically biased.
Okay.
So we must make sure that you are registered with INEC and the commission recognizes you, and they are not politically affiliated to any political party.
Okay. Every school you deal with must not be affiliated to any political party.
Sure.
Why is that? Being that is political parties at the end of the day are key stakeholders in the election.
Yeah, definitely. We agree that political parties are the key stakeholders in an election. But we don't want to see it, the public will not see it that INEC is biased.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
All right.
We want to make it in such a way that it is an all-commerce involvement.
An all-commerce involvement.
Everybody now that is part of it. You don't see it as Party A is sponsoring it, or Party B is directly doing it, or you are doing it because of the Party A has a comparative advantage over the Party B or the other.
Okay.
So that is why we try to make sure that we are neutral and we carry everybody along in the process.
Okay. But there is no intention to make this inclusive or specifically to government-owned schools, because if you're dealing with government-owned institutions, government-owned schools, nobody would accuse INEC, for example, of being biased or politically affiliated.
It's not a matter of government. Even private schools are involved.
Okay.
So long as we are sure that it has no political undertone, that is just for the interest of the general public.
All right.
Yeah.
Sachuka, sorry to ask, is INEC not concerned about Enugu State concerning their involvement? Let's talk about the online registration exercise in voter issues. Are they not concerned? I don't want to speak in general of Southeast, but being that, yes, this is your domain, and you're in charge of voter awareness, voter education. Is there no serious concern with INEC?
If I'm not concerned, I wouldn't be here today.
Okay.
I am here because I'm concerned. I'm affected.
Okay.
If the turnout is high and we see people coming up to vote, I'll be happy. And that shows that we are doing our job very well.
Okay.
But where we have, kind of, announcement turnout from people, it gives concern to us. And that is why we are pleading with the stakeholders to help us. People thought that INEC issue is just an INEC affair. It's a personal affair to people in INEC. It is not true. INEC is just like, the security issue, where we say that security is everybody's concern. Political issues is everybody's concern as well. Because that is where it determines who you are, how you are governed, and who governs you.
All right. Okay, now that we're talking about it, can you enlighten us about this online registration, voters registration, and all that, so that our viewer will be very much informed? Being that you're here, we are privileged to have you.
Yeah. We started this registration officially on the 18th of August. And we started with what we called online registration. What do we actually mean by online registration? Online registration is a registration where you can stay at the comfort of your home, anywhere you are. You don't need to visit INEC, any of INEC or the offices to do it. You can do it at the comfort of your home using your handset or even your laptop to do registration on your own. But that doesn't end there. After the first step, which involves creating your biodata and everything, you will now come to INEC office to do the finishing aspect of it, which involves data capturing and finger aspect of it. And now we did that one for 1 week, which ended on 25th of August. We now go into what we called in-person registration.
Okay.
That is where you are now expected now to come to INEC office of, in all designated INEC office in the local government and INEC state headquarters throughout the federation to do the registration in person. But that doesn't stop the online that is going on. No, you can still start, the online on your own, okay, and then come back to INEC to finalize the last stage of it. Are you getting me?
Yes.
So now, the in-person registration is purely for people who have not done registration before.
Sorry, purely for people who have not done registration before?
Yes.
Okay, so is a misconception when people say it's a re-registration exercise. It's a fresh exercise.
It's a fresh exercise on himself.
Okay.
Because when we now talk of transfer of the voter's card from one state to another state, from local government to another, local government, from one unit to another unit, from one ward to another ward, or as we call it, registration, the areas. You can still do this thing on your own without visiting any INEC office. You can usually use your phone to do it and finalize it without visiting any INEC office.
Okay.
But for that of in-person, which now involves a fresh registrant, you ought to be there physically. It's not done by proxy. You must be there physically to start the first process and end it up. That's the difference between transfer and all that. Now, in the in-person registration, once you you visit the New York of INEC offices, they will ask you about your the information about you, your name, your date of birth, your locality, location, now all this, the question that has to do with your your biodata. They will cue it in, take a picture of you, and the finger capturing, and that's all.
Okay.
And this process doesn't take up to 3 minutes.
Okay. All right. It's quite clear. But I've had many analysts come to the studio, and when they are asked about this exercise, people raise concern about the illiterates, those in the rural areas with little or no access to internet. How or what are you doing to get them involved?
Like I told you, the ball doesn't stop at INEC state headquarters.
Okay.
Just like we are doing registration in INEC headquarters, we are doing it in all designated INEC local government offices. The registration is all going there. But for now, we're concentrated at the INEC local government offices. Are you getting me? We have not disseminated the registration to either ward or unit area. Simple because we just started the registration. And we haven't had any crowd surge to warrant moving the machines to other areas. And even at every registration point, we have 2 machines in all the local government now operating as I'm discussing with you now.
2 machines.
2 machines.
Is 2 machines enough?
For now, it is enough. The crowd is not much. And we don't have any complaint of anywhere that the crowd is over. Shouting the machine that is stationed there now. Okay. But as the crowd is growing, the machine will be growing equally. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Now, at this registration point, we have 2 of our staff. The person operating the machine and the person taking the data. Because in most cases, most of these restaurants, may not be able to know how to read and write. So, to be sure that the information we are getting from you, both the name, date of birth, and that is very accurate, we station one of our staff to be taking records of all those things and now transfer it to the person who is on the machine to queue in this process and do the registration.
Okay. Now, you talked about crowd, and that's the concern here. Going by the figures that were released recently, yes, we discovered that Enugu State in particular didn't have up to 1,000 registrants.
Not up to 1,000. As at today,
yes,
we are having 1,811.
Which is still very minimal when compared to Lagos and Osun State.
Sure.
So, is it not time that perhaps we devise a means, or INEC devises a means to take these machines perhaps to the market, being that the people here are entrepreneurs? You don't see that being feasible?
No, I don't think so for now.
Why is that?
Not that we are not going to do it, but for this starting stage, I don't think it is actually necessary.
Sachuka.
The problem actually, let's be very factual and frank to ourselves.
Okay.
The problem is, if you look at the 6 geopolitical zones that make up the country, I stand to be corrected to say that Igbo race should be either first or second when we talk of the population, the number.
Okay.
But the problem is that we are just large in, when we talk of the population. But politically, we are disadvantaged. We don't use that population to political advantage of the region. Simple because of I don't care attitude of our people. It doesn't concern me. After all, it's not my brother or sister is contesting the election. Probably once what is the need of getting the voter's card? After all, they have written the results. Who told them that? Who told them that?
So you're saying that this is a misconception? Because I was actually coming to this because I've spoken to a number of persons, and this part of the reason they allude to why we have low voter registration, low voter turnout.
Now let me ask a question.
Okay, I wish I may be able to answer.
Who are these INEC we are talking about?
I'm looking at one today.
I don't think so.
Okay.
You are INEC.
How?
An INEC.
How?
Remember, what constitutes an INEC is the generality of Nigerians. Because let's put it correct. Let us put it right.
Take that again.
What makes up of INEC is almost the generality of Nigerians.
Almost the generality of Nigerians?
Yes, putting together. They are the INEC.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, let me tell you how. If you look at on election day, who conduct the election?
INEC.
Who are the INEC? Are they not Nigerians?
They are.
They are purely Nigerians.
Yes.
It's just like, say, for instance, now, we are conducting the election now. You apply to become part of the ad hoc to participate in that election. Are you not an INEC? Okay. Though you might not be a permanent staff, but you are an ad hoc staff of INEC. And for the mere fact, because that umbrella word, INEC, covers all the participants that engaged in that election, whatever happens, they say it's INEC. It is not true. INEC doesn't rig election. INEC doesn't manipulate election.
So who does?
The Nigerians themselves. They do it.
How?
Now let me ask you a question again. How many permanent INEC staff do you see in any unit on election day? None. You don't see none. None of INEC staff. Our job entails getting the material from the CBN in the presence of all political parties and all stakeholders involving the political parties. Taking it to local government before the political parties and every Nigerian present there share the materials to them. They go to the field, conduct the election, announce the result, and return it to INEC. Our job is more of supervisory role.
Okay. As supervisors, are you not worried with whatever they bring back to you, since your personnel are not at the spot?
No. It depends on what they bring and who questions what they bring.
Okay.
If a result comes in and there was no objection to that result or whatever, you have no right legally to question it.
Okay.
You have no single right to question
All
it.
right. Sachuka, we're on voters' education.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this questioning, because it seems that this is where the challenge is.
Yeah.
Who has the right to question and what can be questioned?
The returning officer.
Okay.
And the collection officer.
The returning officer.
At every stage of the election process.
Okay.
Remember, we have various stages, results moves in election day. We have the unit stage, where the PO, whom we now refers to as the presiding officer, collects the results. Move the results in the presence of party agents that accompany the results to the ward collection stage,
Okay.
where you have the collection, the officer now, and at that place again, you have party agents there, stationed there to monitor the collection at that stage now. And the party agents has a right to question the result if they don't agree with what happens at the unit level. They have a right to question the result. And it is duty of the collection officer at that point to reconcile the result, to agree with what happened at the polling unit level before entering the result in Form EC8B. After that stage again, probably they have concurred and agreed. The result moves again to local government stage. And the same process goes on too. Depending on the type of election. There's a result that will stop at the local government level. There's a result that equally stop at the state level. And there is the one that will stop at the federal levels, which has to do with the presidential election.
Okay. We were talking about questioning, and it's the citizens that are involved. Now, from your explanation, I'm meant to understand that there is a process between INEC, participants, or the citizens who you say are part of INEC, right? In your experience, where do you think that this challenge comes from? If from the polling unit, the parties, the observers don't raise objection, and then it gets to INEC, INEC gets to announce. Then these citizens in turn comes to say results were changed. Where do you think this issue is coming from? Because there seems to be a lacuna.
The problem comes from the citizen not getting involved in electoral processes.
Do you mean escorting the ballot from?
Not about escorting. They should be involved in what is happening at every stage. They should be concerned with what happens within their surroundings.
All right.
It's not staying on the fence and apportioning blames.
Okay.
Okeke does that, Okeke does that, Okeke. Until we realize that a single vote can make a difference.
A single vote.
A single vote
can make
a difference.
Okay. That's a powerful one. Now, can we speak to, we were talking about misconception you raised. Are there other misconceptions that you want to speak to?
That's it. Once we realize that our single vote is important and can make a more or even, bring a good representative in a particular election, I bet you things will start changing.
Okay. Sachuka, this issue looks or seems that we're emotionally invested. I see you are agitated with the low turnout of citizens here. What can we do? Or are there plans INEC have to motivate people to participate more in this exercise? Being that, okay, it is what it is. The Easterners, like you've observed, don't care. They have this misconception. Are there things being done to make them care more, participate more in this whole process?
Well, a lot has been done and are still being equally on the drawing boards. Say, for instance, now we are engaging the stakeholders, because actually there are the people who take the advantage of all these votes, whether we like it or not. In as much as there are personal use, you can still make use of the voter's card for. You can use it for identification, either in bank or any place or the other. But when we talk of the gains, it is the political stakeholders that actually enjoy the bulk of the gain of people registering or not registering.
Okay.
So we're engaging with them, talking to them to help out. Like I said, people shouldn't see registration as INEC affair. It concerns INEC. Sometimes we tell you it's about INEC. No, it's not about INEC. It's everybody's concern, everybody's business. Like I said, we shouldn't continue staying on the fence and blaming one government to the other. What did you do on your own part? What is your own contribution, positively or negatively? You can only contribute positively when you have your voter's card. That is a game changer. That is the only weapon. Voter's card makes you a king before the contestant. You are a king. But here in our own part of the the region, we don't see it from that area, from that angle. Do at times pause and ask ourselves a question: Why is their vote buying on election day?
Vote buying.
Why do politicians buy votes? Why is it that during the campaign period you see a politician walking on the street buying corns, buying akara, which under normal condition he wouldn't have done?
Can you tell us why that's possible and why it happens?
Because they need their votes. Because they know you are the king. Because you know that their determinant of your fate lies on your hands. But we don't make use of it. We don't.
But Aneke is aware for this.
Definitely we are aware, and that is why we are continuously educating our people to come out in mass and obtain their voters' card.
But there's nothing in INEC powers to stop such when they see it?
There's no any enabling law for now.
Okay, there's no enabling law for now. Okay, when we were speaking before, you did mention about collaboration with certain schools that register with INEC and all that. Now, being that what we're witnessing here is a very big challenge when compared to other regions and all that. And that's why the need for sections like this, the voter awareness and all that. But I want to ask, is there any collaboration with religious institutions, like the churches, the town hall unions and all that, to get people?
Yeah, like if you can recall, when I'm starting this explanation, I told you that we go to churches on a Sunday, every Sunday.
Every Sunday?
Yes.
Okay.
To still carry out the voter awareness.
The churches, are they receptive of this?
Definitely.
Because most times there are churches, religious bodies would want to separate.
No, they don't.
They don't.
Here in the Southeast, I've not seen any church that does it.
Okay.
They are cooperative.
They are cooperative.
Definitely.
But if they are this cooperative, why are we still having less than, or you said 1,000 plus? Why? Mr. Sachuka, yeah. I really want us to get to the meat of this issue, and let's see how we'll begin to profile solution.
I will attribute it to our usual carefree attitude, waiting for the last minute.
Our usual carefree attitude, waiting for the last minute. All right.
The last rush.
On that note, we'll go on a short break. When we return, we'll continue to eat into the meat of this issue.
Hello, I'm Deborah Wakoba. I am Chidimike Mede.
I am Uche Osai.
I'm Chiwendo Ifeonwankwe.
My name is Obobina Samson.
Please keep watching Aneke TV, or you can visit us on our socials like Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, or YouTube, all at Aneke TV.
This is Aneke TV. We move with the world.
Thank you for staying with us. You're still watching The Insight on Aneke TV. We've been looking at citizen awareness and voter education in Enugu State. And we'll be speaking with Sir Achumie Chuka Res, HOD, Voter Education and Publicity, INEC, in Enugu State. Sir, the discussion has been wonderful and enlightening. However, we're in a digital age. We can do financial transactions seamlessly. From this place, I could communicate with anybody in the world. Is there plans to inculcate this level of technology with your operations, where, given the level of apathy in Southeast, that I don't have to go and queue, that from the comfort of my bedroom, I can get my gadget and drop my vote if I'm registered?
You mean on election day?
Yes. Let's talk about making use of, instead of this multiple registration, let's talk about the banked. All of us will have BVN. Can't we make use of some of these digits, like the BVN, like national ID card, as a means?
Anyway, INEC is working towards that direction, and all these things has to do with law.
Okay.
And at times you see people comparing banks' national identity card with INEC. INEC has the largest database.
Sorry, let me get that. INEC has the largest database. More than the banks?
Yes. INEC has the largest database throughout Africa.
Okay.
There are processes that will be very easier to carry out in a bank that may not be all that easier to be done in INEC, when you bring it down to INEC. That doesn't mean that these things wouldn't be, electronically operated. Like I told you, these are stage by stage.
Okay.
And I believe that the commission, through our chairman, are working towards that to see that those things are in place. Like I said, it has to do with laws. And it doesn't wake up and start introducing one particular, a system or the other. It has to pass through the National Assembly, and it becomes a law before we introduce it to the public as a process.
All right. Now, speaking to this, let's go a little bit deeper. In Enugu State, for instance, from your experience, I don't want to base on analysis, because analysis seems to say that there are more lower voter turnout or more apathy towards Enugu North. Does that synchronize with your data or your experience with INEC?
I don't think so. Enugu North seems to be, when you look at our data table, we collect our data on daily basis,
Okay.
local government by local government. And if you look at the table, I think Enugu North should be in the forefront or even second. Though in as much as I wouldn't say that they are performing excellently. But when you look at the general performance of the state, Enugu North should be either the first or the second, if you look at the table. But I know Enugu East is stopping.
Enugu East is stopping?
Yes.
Okay. Now that we're talking about it, what about the issues of road network, the transportation system to reach the interior? Because that seems to be another limitation to popular participation in INEC programs, elections as well.
Well, on the part of INEC, and that is why I told you we didn't concentrate here at the headquarters.
Okay.
All the INEC local government offices are involved.
All the local INEC offices,
local government offices
are involved.
They are all involved.
Okay. All right. Sir Chuka, given the enormity of the issue at stake here, because we're talking about the lives of a region, not just the state, because this issue seems to cut across the entire region. When you look at the number from Abia State, it's not beyond 2,000. You look at Ebonyi State, it doesn't fare any better than Enugu State. If you go to Anambra State, that will be having an off-cycle election. One may think that the numbers should compete with Lagos and Osun, and is not even up to 10,000, and just thereabouts, 5,000 to 6,000, thereabouts. So, please, is it possible that you let our viewer know about this, your program once more?
I want to use the opportunity to call the people of Enugu State, not just Enugu State, the Southeasterners. Let us take a leaf from what is happening in other states. Let us see political, this registration as a duty that we ought to perform. At times I ask a question, vote buying and all that. You can only buy a vote when there is a voter's card to buy. It's only when I have a voter's card that there will be a transaction between the buyer and seller. Is that not true? If I don't have one, there will be nothing to sell nor anything to buy from. Let us see this thing as a duty that everybody will be involved. And the politicians themselves, because I know they are the people who actually take advantage of what you are doing, should equally get involved. If you go to northern states, for instance, or even the areas you are referring to, you see that the politicians, when they notice that there is a distance between the Aneke office and whatever, they kind of hire vehicles for their people, moving them from their location to the area where the registration is going on. By so doing, it will help you increase the number of people that comes to register. We shouldn't be waiting for INEC until we make the machine available in all the maybe at the doorstep of every house or room. That is not the way it is done. So the politicians should be involved. They should get committed in what is happening. Like this morning, I have a chat with the commissioner for the information of here in Enugu State, and they equally promised that they are going to help out. The chairman of PDP is equally helping out, because I can see that they are organizing stakeholders in various communities and local governments, all in a bid to encourage people to come out and have themselves registered.
Okay, all right. Now that we've elucidated on these issues, what are the challenges that Aneke is really facing? Because nobody really talks about that.
For now, I wouldn't say that we have any challenge. Our machines are performing optimally.
Okay.
We have the manpower.
You have the manpower?
Yes, we have the manpower.
But you always rely on ad hoc staff?
Definitely, because there's no way INEC will be able to employ the number of people that were required to do a job, especially in the election period.
But you have a budget.
Even though you have a budget, the budget has to cover still the same ad hoc you are talking of. There is no election. Let me say, for instance, in Enugu State here, to conduct any election in Enugu State here, INEC will be needing maybe close to 12,000 personnel.
12,000 personnel.
To conduct election.
And that may be the challenge.
It's not a challenge as far as registration is concerned. We are not complaining. Let's see the turnout. And let it be that we are not able to, to accommodate them.
All right.
The problem is that we have all it takes to do the registration.
Okay. You have all it takes to do the registration.
But their people are not yet turning out. They are waiting for the last minute, as I said,
okay,
which is not encouraging and is not the best for us.
All right.
Because even at that last stage you are waiting for, you'll find out a situation where some people will register and some people will still not register. Okay. Early to bed, early to rise.
All right. Sir Chuka, my directors are already signaling me. But before I let you go, what will be your final word? That's what that you want to tell the people of Enugu.
My final word is that we should take voter registration as a business, just like you take your private business.
We should take voter registration as a business,
Very
just
important
like
business,
you
just like you take your
a
own
personal business. All right. On that note, that's where we'll draw the curtain today on the insight. You've listened to Sir Achume Chuka Res, the HOD Voter Education and Publicity, INEC, Enugu State. Now, having listened to him, it's time for you to play your part. Remember, on the insight, your voice really matters. So, do not forget to send in your views, issues that you want us to send across to him, so Aneke will start dealing with them. Send them with the hashtag, The Insight, at Aneke TV, on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and X. And Sir Chuka, it's been wonderful talking to you.
I'm glad being here.
And we hope that in future you would oblige us with your presence.
The rest assured I'll always be around.
All right. On that note, we would say thank you for staying with us. I still remain your host, Uche Osai.